Welcome back to the mess that is Atlanta. Listen, for a while, they wasn't giving me anything. I'll be honest with you, it was a struggle to even watch it, let alone review it. So I haven't been reviewing the show because it just hasn't been good. And I think you guys all agree because the ratings are low. But they are finally giving us something worth reviewing, in my opinion, this episode. Ciao. Let me tell you something. I got insider tea on it, but I can't tell y'all. What I will say is Nene is wrong for unfollowing everybody because of what she did. Because what we saw on this episode wasn't even half of what actually went down after she assaulted that cameraman. Okay? Portia had every right to get the hell out of there. Anyway, let's get into this review. Kandi, a damn genius. Let me tell you something. She turned this negative storyline into some coins. Like, she flipped this so good. I'm like, it's so quick. The girl is smart. The girl is smart. And Todd, if you're smart, you won't go nowhere. You won't mess this up. This woman is smart. She will always get a coin. And I'm telling you, she's just going to get wealthier and wealthier from here on out. Todd, don't mess this up. Get her pregnant again. Give her another baby. And speaking of storylines, Sistah totally needs a new storyline. This is so sad. I feel like she doesn't even have one this season. Like, she's up here in this Spiegel catalog lingerie, like grinding on Kandi horribly, just looking a plumb fool. And I'm like, Sistah, you came on this show as like this hot New York fashion runway, and you have been, pardon my honesty, a dummy ever since. Like, they have walked over you and just played you like Boo Boo the Fool, and you just have taken it on, and you were somebody who had legitimate celebrity right along with Kandi. Like, outside of who on the show currently had legitimate celebrity? Yes, it was Sistah and Kandi. Everybody else didn't get put on until this show, and it's just like a reality TV, and you two had legitimate Hollywood entertainment careers, and this is how you on the show? Sis. And you know what? As I was watching this scene, I was listening to the song. I was like, oh my gosh, this is Kandi. Not only did Kandi debut her new song on this show, she also got the show to play it, which means her own job paid her for her song. She is getting coin all over the place, and these people are not even trying to emulate what this woman is doing. She is literally the black Bethany Frankel, or Bethany Frankel is the white Kandi Burruss. Let me tell you something. Those two chicks know how to milk this show for all it's worth, and I ain't never mad. I always tell y'all, if you're gonna come on this show and act a plumb fool, you better secure the bag. And Kandi and Bethany are doing just that. I also think she's doing the most that she can do before they fire this whole cast. Because guys, real talk, like industry talk, this show is not doing well. It's not. And when you don't do well in the ratings, you can't really justify such hefty salaries. At this point, Beverly Hills and Atlanta, they are getting the largest cut from Bravo TV. The paychecks for these women are hefty, and Bravo didn't have a problem with doing it because they were bringing in hefty ratings. So they pay you for your worth, right? However, they're not doing it. So what's happening right now, I think this is, yeah, I can say this. So what's happening right now is that they're going back and forth right now for the next season. So what's going to happen is either they'll all come back with a pay cut, or part of them will come back with a pay cut in a new cast. I think that's probably what's going to happen, and or new cast members. And you know what? I think it kind of needs to happen because I feel like we've gone as far as we can go with this cast at this point. And I think they added new people on the show who really don't fit. No shade. Shamari is fun. I just don't feel like she fits within this crew. Tanya, I think she is not right for Atlanta. I think she's perfect for Beverly Hills or even Potomac. But no shade. I think she's way too fly for Potomac. I think she will flourish in Beverly Hills, but I don't know if they'll do that crossover. But it's time. It's time. And if they don't do that, I think they need to fire, no shade, the production company, because you're just not giving what you need to give, because they're all really good friends with these people. And it makes sense, you know what I mean? They've been doing this show with them for over a decade. So you get to be very friendly with the cast, and you start to, as you watch your kids grow, you create relationships, and you probably don't want to show everybody's mess, right? But this is a TV show. These women signed on for us to see their lives or create a storyline for their lives. Give us an interesting storyline. Don't hide out the good stuff because you don't want your big star to be upset. At the end of the day, this is her job and this is what she has showed up to do. So you need to do that. I honestly feel like for Beverly Hills, And for Atlanta, they need to get rid of those production companies and hire the production company that does WeTV's Love After Lockup. Those people know how to put together a reality TV show. Every episode of Love After Lockup has been so juicy, so freaking meaty that you keep on coming back. And their viewership keeps on growing. And that show is essentially putting WeTV on the map. I'm telling you, either hire those people or mimic what they're doing, because they know how to put together a reality TV show. At this point, Atlanta and BH, the production is too friendly with them, so they're not going to give us a real story. They're going to give us favorable edits for their cast because they all friends. And at the end of the day, I don't want to see y'all be buddy-buddy with the cast. I want to see y'all tell the truth and get it out there so we as the viewers can have a laugh, a kiki, a cry, a scream, whatever. You got to get some kind of reaction out of us, because if my reaction every time I tune into this show is to roll my eyes and to click on to something else, that's a problem. Especially when I used to be the one that would cancel plans or host a watch party for this show. Ain't nobody doing that no more. I wonder why. You know what? Before we move on, Cynthia, all that grinding and squatting that you were doing on Kandi, I hope you was pap ready, ma'am. I hope you was pap ready. You know what I think would really help this show is if next season Marlo and Giovanna, or Giovanna, however you say her name, if Giovanna and Marlo get a peach, I think this will really shake up this cast, because this is the thing. Marlo and Giovanna are hungry. They are hungry. They are new. Not necessarily, Marlo is not that new, but she really wants that spot, right? So they are hungry. They will give you a show. They will say the shady things to the people's face. They will cause some drama or some mess, because at the end of the day, this is what we tune in for. It's a TV show. You gotta have that drama, that shade, that mess. But also, this show is known for comedy and laughs, and we're not getting that from them, right? But the scenes with Giovanna and the scenes with Marlo, I'm always laughing. You know what I mean? I'm always laughing or gasping. And I feel like we need more of that. So they need to bring those two in as full-time cast members. But Marlo, listen, you have a problem in this industry with messing up your own bag. Whatever they offer you, take it. Take it, sis. Because this is the thing. You've been a friend of the show. Now they're offering you, if that happens, a peach. Do not go back and forth with your lawyer, with your agent, your reps, whatever, your manager. Take it. Because you come in with a peach. Give a season that is worthy of negotiations for a higher pay next season. Then you can do all that. But right now, you're trying to get all this money and you're a friend of the show. You're not even a lead. So when you become a lead in the ensemble cast, then you can do all that. You keep on messing up your money. This is well known in the industry that you mess up your own bag. You keep on fumbling, sis. Take this wisdom and grow, because you got it in you. You can be a main cast member if you cut down the demands and if you play the game. You don't play the game. And the network already got beef with you because you don't play the game and because you're a decorated felon. So it's like you got to walk in a little different before you can boss up. You know what? And can we talk about this wig party, no wig party? I thought it was really fun. I thought it was a great idea, but it was so sad to see these grown Black women be, and I understand, right? I'm not judging them. I get it. Be very insecure about wearing their natural hair, about the hair that grows out of their head. And I'm not saying this about them, you know what I mean? I'm saying this about society, because they don't feel that way because they think their hair is hideous. They feel that way because Black hair has been criminalized since the beginning, since we got here. So even these wealthy, adult, strong Black women are still like kind of childlike about showing their hair and just being like, oh, it's not cute. I feel naked. I don't like it. I want my wig. I want all of these things. Because for all of our lives, our hair has been criminalized, and we have been told that it hasn't been cute. And we have been told that it's not beautiful. Black girls are getting their hair pressed and perm from the time we can walk. Weaves and all kinds of things are getting put in our hair to make ourselves feel prettier. And that's what people are telling us, you know what I mean? We can't really embrace our hair unless we have, you know, the multiracial Yara Shahidi kind of hair. Then it's beautiful. And even that was criminalized for a time. So just watching that, I was just like, oh, this is so sad. You know what I mean? Because I know why. I know why they felt that way. And it was just like a little glimpse, but it was enough to just really like cut to my heart. And you know what? All of their hair was beautiful. They all looked so great, except I won't say she didn't look great, but Nene, you can't fool me, sis, especially me. Me who reviews Drag Race, okay? I know a pussycat wig when I see it, sis, and that is a pussycat wig. And the more I keep on looking at that wig, I'm just like, did you sue this wig from Monet Exchange? Cause that's a Monet Exchange pussycat wig. Tell it, yes, Eva. Please read. So Giovanna, Messy Giovanna, who I already love for this show, she stands up and she got this dime piece tattoo on her leg, and the fact that she is loving it and living for it. This is why I want her on the show. This is why I want her on the show, because as soon as she did that, Eva, who hasn't really given us funny confessionals, we cut to her confessional. She was like, dime piece? I definitely didn't know you. And I just fell out like, this is the shadiest and the funniest that Eva has ever been. And what episode are we on now? Now let's talk about Nene's meltdown. Listen, I ain't that chick, right? And I don't have friends like that who call me bees and all that stuff. Hey, hey, bee, I don't do that. Like, that's not me. Now, there are people who do that, right? However, it's not for me. But watching this scene with Nene, it's obviously a term that she used as endearment with her girlfriends, right? Specifically Marlo. However, we all could tell that the way she was throwing them bees out at Marlo, that this wasn't endearment. So Nene just starts coming for Marlo as soon as Marlo arrives, and she looked great. Natural hair, everything, she just looked great. So Nene starts coming for her, and apparently they had an earlier issue because Marlo came looking for Nene because Greg called her. Now listen, I agree with both of them. Here is why. So Greg calls Marlo and says, basically sends out an SOS to Marlo to come see about Nene. As a friend, right? As a best friend of someone who is going through hell, because guys, regardless of how we all feel about Nene, she really went through it this season. She didn't want to film, but because she's getting such a huge check, the network was not going to let her film like 2 or 3 episodes. She had to come in at least for a majority of the season because she is the biggest draw for this show. So essentially, no shade, she was filming at gunpoint. So all of her scenes she shows up to, she doesn't really want to do it because she's going through. Marlo, being her good Judy, knows this, right? So when Greg, who is sick, calls her and says, my wife is going through it. Please go over there and get her and help her, because he knows that she's going through and Marlo knows that she's going through because of Greg. So she runs over there to go see about her friend, and because she came over unannounced, Nene doesn't let her in. Okay, I understand both sides. I understand Marlo running over there to see what's going on with her friend and freaking out because you don't let me in, or I can't get in there, and your husband is calling me, telling me that something is up with you. Where does your mind first go, especially in this day and age? Suicide. So she's probably freaking out, thinking her friend is trying to harm herself, and then she gets there and she can't get in, and she's frantic or whatever, and then she finds out her friend doesn't want to let her in. And for her, she's like, oh, we're close. Like, we're sisters. So what is going on? Why can't I come in? And then she starts to feel some way. She starts to feel slighted. She starts to feel foolish because she dropped everything to go see her. And she's thinking that she's really having an issue when really she's just having one of her normal temper tantrums. So I get Marlo's side, right? But then I also get Nene's side. She is going through it and she don't feel like nobody right now. We all been there when it's just like, listen, I don't really feel like it. I'm dealing with some stuff. Let me be by myself for a second. And then when I get ready, I'll come around and be with everybody else. So I get both sides, right? So then they finally get together. And at this point, the liquor is flowing with Nene because they probably have been drinking for hours while filming this. So she is just acting like she's joking, but she's really hurt. So she's just giving Marlo all these zingers. So I guess the zingers start cutting a bit deep in Marlo to where she starts lashing out at Nene, and then Nene starts falling apart and everybody's running after Nene and comforting her. And then Marlo, who I understand is rightfully pissed, but I wish she would have in that moment put herself aside for just that moment. And maybe she's tired of putting herself aside for Nene, right? But I wish she just would have stepped outside of herself and just been there for her friend. Because to still focus and kind of divide the group in a way of compassion, I just felt like it was, I just felt like in that moment, everybody should have been there with Nene, because obviously she was spazzing out and breaking down because she is going through it. And regardless of how you feel about her and regardless of what she's done, in this moment, this woman is losing it. And Marlo doesn't like it. So she's just like, oh, I don't like you treating me like this. So at this point, it's all about Marlo and it's all about Nene. And neither one of them are really putting their own pride aside to fix the situation. So eventually Marlo does go over there after she decides to leave, and they run over and get her to come back. Eventually she goes over and comforts her friend, and Nene starts to apologize because she didn't mean it. She didn't want her to leave. She wanted her to be there with her, but she was lashing out. And I understand Marlo. I really, really do, because you want to be there for your friend. But at what point do you just like finally get fed up with their snap outs and their abusive behavior? Like, there are people who I had to separate myself from, you know, especially as an adult, because it's just like really toxic. You only call me when you have an issue, and then you're always over dramatic, and there's always a problem, and you always don't like this person, or you always don't like that person. Like, being around you is draining. Before you were the fun friend, now you're draining, and I'm trying to be there for you because I know you're going through, but now it's getting to the point where I'm getting sick, just like you're getting sick. So all you're doing is sickening me, and neither one of us is getting better. I had a friend like that I had to cut loose in 2018 because they were just sick in the mind, and they weren't getting better. And I felt myself getting sick, and I couldn't help them. And because I couldn't help them, I was on the receiving end of a lot of their anger and rage, even though I wasn't the cause of the issue. They were having family problems, but because they couldn't go to their family, they would come to me. And if I wasn't available, dear God, don't let me be at an audition. Don't let me be working. You know what I mean? It was like a rage, and I just felt like I was in an abusive relationship, because I was. And I had to let it go, and I felt bad because I knew it was somebody who really needed help, but I wasn't the person to do it. Because now I'm dreading your call, and now I'm crying every darn day because I'm taking on your load, and I'm just not equipped to deal with it. So I get Marlo as well. I really, really do. Sometimes you just have that friend where it's too much. It's too much drama. It's too much. Even when you're not in pain, it's still an issue. Like this same friend, I didn't drop her just because she was having these issues at the time. It was a buildup, and this was just enough, because it was always like this, where it was, you got a problem with everybody and everything. Nothing makes you happy. I don't want to be around you. Yes, we had some good times, but baby, go to God or to a therapist or both, because I can't take that on. But I will say this, out of all of that drama, I really loved, especially this scene where the women are just rallying over Nene. You know what I mean? They are comforting her and hugging her, even people who have issues with her. I just love them loving on her. And she needed that, because as soon as she got that, she just broke down. Because that's what she needed. She needed to vent. She needed to just cry on somebody's shoulder. She just needed that, because she was probably holding in a lot of stuff, because you got to hold it together because your partner is sick, and just a lot of stuff she was dealing with. And I just really love that scene. I really, really love that scene of just those Black women coming together to support another. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you don't have nobody with your sisters, you know what I mean? Blood or not, we as a community, that's all we got is each other. So I just really love that scene. Now let's talk about Shamari, who turns into an aggressive lesbian anytime she has a drink. Listen, they were having a good time kikiing at Shamari, because as soon as she started drinking, she's like grabbing Tanya's coochie. Whose titty was she sucking on? Was she trying to suck on? Was it Eva's coochie? No, not Eva's coochie, Eva's titty. She was just really out of it. But I didn't judge her for it. You know, Marlo did, but I didn't. You know what I mean? Like she said, listen, I'm a mother of twins. I never get to go out and have a good time. When I'm out here with my girls, I'm gonna have a good time. And I brought my ride with me, so I don't gotta worry about that. So let the girl have a good time. She was fun. This was the funnest I've ever seen her, sad to say. Watching drunk Shamari was fun. And what happened to Eva is exactly why I am not the libations friend. Let me tell you something. I would be the one to call you an Uber. I'm not putting you in. Our other friend can do that. I don't do vomit. I don't do vomit. I don't do drunk people. I can't. I can do a buzz friend, a sloppy drunk friend. That's not my ministry. I'm not going to be there unless you have morning sickness, I'm not going to be there with you in the bathroom while you're vomiting. If you're vomiting because you got pissy drunk, listen, somebody else got to hold your head, because I can't take it. I can't take it. I'm going to start vomiting with you, and I'm going to resent you for it. So I'm just not that friend. And when she vomited on Eva's shoes, I was just like, that's exactly why. Because I wouldn't have went in that bathroom, especially when she can't get herself together. You know that vomit is coming. You got to stay woke, Eva. You got to stay woke. And now you got your nice, when she said silk, I said, oh, that shoe was ruined. That shoe was ruined. Let's talk about what we're all here for, Closet Gate. Listen, everybody was wrong, except for the cameraman that got beat up, okay? But he got his coin though. So Nene is being comforted by half of the women that she invited. I think it was like Marlo, Cynthia, half the girls. I think Tanya was one of them as well. Anyway, so Nene the whole season has been talking about how fabulous and amazing her closet is, dragging Tanya's closet, talking about she got the best closet out there. So of course, if you're talking about the closet and half the cast is in the closet, you're going to want to film there to see what this closet is all about. Now, let me jump back to Nene's live. Recently, she said on her live that the reason why she unfollowed her cast members and why she's having issues with everybody is because she told production, I don't want to film upstairs in my room. I don't want you to film in my master bedroom. But then when she went up there to film, you're a part of this TV show. They were obligated to come in there and film her. She said she was okay with that, but she told them, do not go in my closet. Right? So when the girls come up there to look in her closet, they don't know. Nene only told production not to film in her closet. And guys, you have to be real here. In the beginning, she didn't have an issue with them being in the closet. She was joking with them. You know what I mean? Nene's problem came in when the cameraman started walking to her closet. Now remember, Kandi came up, Portia came up. They were all like, you left us downstairs. What's going on in here, right? And I honestly think that production sent them upstairs to be messy because they were all going to leave. But I think that maybe one of them put a bug in their ear because maybe they wanted to get a reaction out of Nene about the whole closet situation, since she did prepare them. And I can confirm that she did let them know, this is where you film, this is where you do not film. So anyway, the girls go up there and Kandi was just like, let me see this closet. And he's like, Kandi, don't go in my closet. And Kandi's like, I'm gonna look at the closet. But I kind of get where Kandi is coming from because Nene was saying it jokingly, right? You don't really know when somebody is serious. But then again, I can get somebody jokingly saying it, but meaning it and hoping you respect their words. So everybody was wrong and everybody was right in this situation. So then Kandi sachets her big behind her and she's like, this is a closet? Where's the rest of it? So you already know. You already know that we're being set up for some mess. Then Portia comes up and she goes in the closet and Nene is feeling some sort of way because she knows that they already have a camera in there filming. So she knows that soon when all of the cast starts going in the closet, the cameraman is going to follow because he has to get everything. That is his job. So then she tells Cynthia, who I can't believe she's not following her anymore. Now she got beef with her. Like, girl, no shade, but Cynthia's been your friend and your doormat since she got on the show. Like, you can give her a break. So anyway, Nene tells Cynthia to go get Portia and Kandi out of there. So she goes to get Portia and Kandi out of there. However, Nene doesn't realize she sent another cast member into her closet. So now we got two cameramen. One cameraman is filming Nene. I think it's Marlo and Tanya on the couch in her room over here. Now we got Kandi, Portia, and Cynthia in the closet. So where does the other cameraman go to? The other action in the room. He starts going over to the closet. So as soon as he gets up to go to the closet, Nene jumps up, and we got to be real here. Y'all didn't get the rest of it, but she assaulted this man. Like, she went for broke. They gave you like flashback clips, but not the whole thing. She went to town on this dude. Pulls him, rips his, allegedly. Rips his, we did see that. She ripped his shirt or whatever, but she allegedly assaulted him. Allegedly. And in the melee, Portia allegedly got punched and pushed. And allegedly, right? So all of this drama is going on, and here is what's happening. Nene, for seasons, has been talking about how she has all this money. She got Donald Trump checks. She's rich and all of this stuff, and she has all this money. She got the teeth done. They're done. She got all this money, right? She always brags about how she's the wealthiest housewife and she gets the biggest check from the show. Then this season, she keeps on bringing up her closet, about how amazing her closet is. So of course, you're going to want to see what this closet looks like. However, Nene's closet was a mess. It was a mess. It looked like what she had been going through. So she probably hasn't been picking up after herself, haven't been cleaning like she normally does. So she probably just had a breakdown in there and didn't want anybody to see it or whatever. So that's what she was running. She was running to protect her image, and she had to get the cameraman out of there because it is his job to film everything. So that's where all of that happened. And then you got to think about the cameraman as a person. When somebody pulls your shirt and rips it and allegedly starts hitting you, you're going to react as well. So all of that happened and the camera cut off because allegedly there's a case happening. So anyway, that's where that episode ends. It ends with us not getting the whole shebang, but we do get like clips later of, oh, you know, everybody telling their own side of the story, but we have freaking footage that they're not going to show for legal reasons. And I actually understand that. I understand that because I think if they show it, it's just going to be a bigger problem for the show and for the network. So I get it. It'll also be a huge problem for Nene. So I understand. I totally understand why they wouldn't show it. But man, that was real. That was real. And it went on for a while, allegedly. Stay woke. Anyway, that's my review for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode coming up right now, wherever it is in this video. See you soon. Bye.